Hello everybody, John here with the Hub Overland Adventures. So I'm sure you've seen them out there on the trail. Flags whipping around on people's rigs. Looks pretty cool, right? Especially when you're out in the dunes or somewhere with a lot of hills. But there's actually a lot more to it than just slapping a flag onto your rig and calling it good. There's a lot of different types, styles, and things to consider when thinking about a flag for your off-road vehicle. Now, why a flag is important, you might ask? Well, especially in dunes, situations where you've got a lot of ups and downs and a lot of people out there riding, some areas will require it depending on the terrain, so you want to know what you're getting. Now, there's basically two categories that you need to know about. One, you've got your safety whips, flags with just bright orange, high visibility, made for being seen in the dunes and in the wide open desert and other areas. Then you've got your style flags, American flags, symbol flags, whatever you want to have on there. People have them all over the place and all different styles. Now, there are two different types of poles too. Those larger, more display style flags or preference flags have usually thicker poles, and the whips, they're made for dunes and things like that, usually kind of like a bicycle pole, bicycle flag. So the first question you want to ask is, where do you want the flag on the rig? It really depends on what else you have going on the rig and what you have currently, and then your driving style and your preference. So for instance, you can put it on the back of the rig, you can put it on the front of the rig by the trail site. Right now, I have mine mounted right on the side of my Rotopacks, which is not ideal, don't love that. And so we're gonna look at some different solutions. A lot of people like the front mount. It's popular on the trail site position. But think about what's already up there. Lights, antennas, cameras. If you're stacking gear on gear, that might be an issue. And honestly, for me, driving down the trail with a flag and my eye line waving around is something that would probably get pretty old pretty quick. Second thing is your flagpole. Size does matter. But the taller ones will get more attention, but they also catch more wind. So make sure your mount is rated, however you're gonna make sure that is, for the flag that you have. So it's just something to think about. And think ahead, what else are you planning on putting on this rig? Down the road, a rear carrier, gas cans, other things that might get in the way of where you put your flag today. So think about what you're planning on doing down the road if you can, and try to plan now for those later additions. All right, so what we went with on our rig and why. We went with the Mountains2Metal flag mount for the rear. And there's many reasons why on this. I didn't want a flag bouncing up and down in front of me in the sight line on my trail site, plus we already have lights mounted on the front trail sites, which I think is pretty cool because I haven't seen that done before, so I like it and I want to keep it. But we also don't want anything on the rear that's going to get in the way of future carriers, like an extra jerry can that I'd like to put next to the tire, if possible. So wanted something that was tucked away, but wouldn't get in the way of visibility a lot, but also look really cool, and I think it looks really cool on the rear of the vehicle. So step one is taking off the spare tire. So let's get to it. So the first thing we're going to do is show people what you should have stock in the Bronco. Got our wrench here. Hey, well, we just noticed something that's not good. I am missing a bolt on my spare tire. All right. So use the old trusty bike shop apron here so I don't get myself super dirty. All right, so we have our right and our left brackets, driver and passenger side, and we can decide which ones we like better, So do we want it on the passenger side, or do we want it on the driver's side? What do you guys think out there? What would you do? Let us know down in the comments. What do you think, Scott?
Passenger side.
That's what I was originally thinking.
If you're going to put another bracket on the driver's side for your radio antenna, you can run your radio antenna cable through that opening right there.
That's a great point. Did you guys hear that? So if we want an antenna in the future over here on this side, we can run the cable through this port as well, kind of piggyback off of it and use that wisely. So that's smart. Good thinking, Scott. I think I agree with that. Here we are, got my nice little socket, and we are going to just remove these two little bolts right here to make room for our new flag mount. All right. So there we go, we got both bolts out, and now we're just gonna get our bracket and get it on. So pretty easy, folks. Loctite. All right, so per Scott's suggestion, which is probably smart, gonna get a little Loctite going here so we can make this nice and secure. So if you guys haven't ever used Loctite before, it's just like a little substance. Ooh, you put on the bolt here, and it kind of is a semi-permanent, semi-glue kind of to hold it in. Oh, we are supposed to torque this down to specs.
We don't have a torque wrench.
I do. So luckily, folks, I mountain bike, and I have a torque wrench from my mountain biking days, and it works just as well on the car. So if y'all haven't ever used a torque wrench before, or a torque meter, this is a manual one, but they do have digital. All right, we are good to go. We were able to get this torque down to the proper specifications, which is nice. So we know it's secure and gonna hold on the tire the way it's supposed to. So now let's get the quick mount for the flag on here. So we got an awesome new flag when we were at United by Bronco in Sand Hollow State Park, Utah. We are excited to put it on. And this is what I'm so excited about right here. It's a quick release. Look, we did not have that before. So this is gonna make things a lot easier because we can just put it right over here, bolt it to that, and we can quick release our flag on and off the back whenever we want and leave the mount there, which is awesome. All right, so let's get this puppy on. So I highly recommend these flags that are like 10 poles. We just got this and we're super excited because the other one, it's way more of a pain in the butt. I've got to pack it on the roof rack every time to take it anywhere because it's one long pole that doesn't break down. So definitely recommend these with the quick release, and we'll show you getting everything put back. I'm gonna install our custom flag that we got made for the channel, the Hub Overland Adventures, in a nice bright yellow that's gonna match the accent color I have on the vehicle already on the trail sights and our Max tracks, which are pretty much the same bright yellow. And we got this custom made from a place called festflags.com. No affiliation, I just found them online, and they make a really good quality flag. We had it at Sand Hollow on our other pole, and now we're gonna have it on our new one. This just has a little hose clamp on it with a zip tie. So we're gonna cut the zip tie to free this flag. And then we are going to put on our flag. I'm just gonna make a hole kind of high enough up that it's not right by the edge. I'm gonna use a zip tie. Just gonna make the hole and then stick this back through it and hope it works. And it did. And now we just have to put it on like that. Super easy disassembly. You just pull up and you're done. Need a little bit more wind today, but I think it looks good. What do you guys think? Now time to get the spare tire back on. Well, everybody, there you have it. We have finished the install of our Mountains2Metal flag mount for the Bronco. We're really happy with it so far. Now, one caveat is the flag pole itself. I mentioned how we really like the flag pole that breaks down. However, one thing we've learned is with the flag we got from Fest Flags, the material is much thicker than most flags. Therefore, at speeds really over about 40 miles an hour, the flag pulls the top section of the pole apart, and so it kind of hangs down. So it's like, so that's not the most ideal. So consider that when you're buying your flag. Make sure the flag is very, very thin and light, or use a flag pole that's solid.